Okay, Emerald's Reviews coming back in again. Got one more video, and I'm on my way to take care of some business, so I thought I'd make these videos while I'm at it. And anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share the videos. I'm trying to start recording more often and try to get this thing built up. Let's get it popping. I want to talk about marriage. I was having this conversation with a female friend of mine recently, and she was asking me, well, I guess she was trying to, understand getting a good idea about my intentions on whether I'm open to getting married again. And I told my answer. I think I told her, like, I'm more on the fence about it, because I don't care to I'm open to settling down with a woman, no doubt. Spending the rest of my life with a good woman. We build together, all that good stuff. But I don't believe in getting the state issue contracts, the marriage license, because it allows the state to get involved in your business if you and your wife do not can't get along and you can't settle things cordially. So y'all not cordial about your separation. If things don't go right, then she can always just go and just do get with the state, get with the with the government, and just you give you the shit end of the stick. We know this is common knowledge, and this is not just people who've been burned, but this is common knowledge. You don't have to be married or have kids to know this. Everybody knows this. This happens most of the time when it comes to the men. Now, if people want to get married, that's totally up to them. But I'm open to, just basically having, you can actually build together. You can even change your name through the courts. It's totally up to you. You can do these things. Contract law, see, we're so caught up on government benefits, state benefits. To me, those are bribes. Because if you're stuck on benefits, you don't think about the traps that you allow yourself. I'm speaking to the men right here. The traps you allow yourself to be open to. You can actually change your name. A woman can change her name to whatever she wants to change it to. If she wants to change her last name to your last name, she can do it. She can do a name change. She can do a name change and change her name. You can go before the judge, and that man, he would grant you that. Because you're practicing a religious, it's a religious practice that's backed by the Constitution that protect, and every government official took an oath to defend the Constitution, to support the Constitution. So if you have a religious practice where you don't want to get the state involved, but you want to be married in the eyes of God, and this is your belief. This is your belief. You want to do that by way of a private contract without getting the state involved. You can do that. You have the right to contract any way you want to contract. Okay, but when you get a license through the state, then you're allowing the state to get involved in your private business. And we know that the family court is very biased on it most of the time. I'm gonna touch that bias. I'm gonna touch that biases. I'm gonna go deep on that in a minute. But if a man decides to allow himself, to get a state license, where your name, her name, and the state of, whether it's Georgia, state of Arkansas, state of Florida, state of whatever, it's a three-way contract. And any attorney, anybody that works for the state, whether it's an attorney or a judge or, social workers, they all work for the state. They took an oath to the Constitution of that state and of the United States of America. They took an oath. Go and pull a certified copy of the oath of office of any public official that anybody that works for the state. They took an oath to defend the Constitution. And it forbids allowing, it forbids government officials to restrict your right to practice your religion, to your right to practice your religion. They can't interfere with that. And it also gives you the people the freedom to contract as they choose. And it also restricts, the thing is, people don't understand that the power comes from the consent of the governed. You are the governed. The people are the governed. It comes from your consent. The things that two people consent to is what the government officials, i.e. a judge, has the rule on. That's how child support kicks in. People agree to child support some type of way, whether it's by way of acquiescence, or they kind of go along with it because they don't object to it. They don't stand it from some kind of way. They allowed them to trick them into agreeing it and into complying with what it is they wanted to do, their agenda to lock them into a contract. And if you agree some type of way to be on child support, that's what makes it law, and it gives them power to do what they want to do to you concerning child support. But this video is not about child support. I'm speaking about the biasness of the courts, the biasness of the government. We know even when a woman, if there's a domestic situation and the police gets called, most of the time the man is being blamed. The woman can say the man hit her, he gonna go to jail most of the time. If she don't have to have proof. She can just cry and look cute. And that's what happened to me before. It happened to me before. This happens all the time. When you got a woman playing an innocent role, and she said the man put his hands on her for whatever reason, chances are he'll go to jail. And he has to prove himself innocent. Now he's going to jail until he does so, or make bail or whatever. Bottom line is, you keep people. It's best to keep yourself out of this. They keep the state out of your business. Unless we're gonna come against these public officials that do this bullshit. They also in their oath. They swore to be impartial and fair. They're supposed to follow, do what's fair. Most of them don't do that. If they have their own agenda, they're going to do what they want to do. And it's only because the people are ignorant. The people are ignorant to the law. We don't know. We've never been taught these things. If you pull an oath of office of any official, you will see it. You can Google these things. These things can be found. So when a man decides he wants to marry a woman, he gives. If I marry this woman and that woman knows that if things don't go right, she can cash in. She can, we have family, we have children. She could always file for custody. She most likely she knows she's gonna get primary custody. She knows she's most likely she's gonna get alimony. She's gonna get child support. All these different things. Then she has no reason. She really can feel liberated to not hold herself accountable to certain behaviors that she may carry out throughout that marriage. And if I don't like it, then I have to suffer the consequences of going through a divorce. Chances are a man probably won't file a divorce because he knows what the outcome's going to be. That's probably the main reason why most men don't file for a divorce. And women most likely file for divorce because they can cash out in the process. So, this is like, if you just pay attention, we just know these things. By us knowing these things, I always advise people to use common sense. We know these things. Start being smart. Type up your own terms. What it is that you want to do with a woman. She can always go change her name and carry your last name if y'all choose to do it like that privately. And you can go before a judge and they can change your name and get a judgment. And now you can use that to change your IDs or whatever you want to do with it. And you can go by your new last name, which is your husband's last name, if y'all choose to do so. Or if you want to hyphenate that name, you could change it. However you want to do it. You can get a judgment on that. It's on you. Okay? As far as like building together, you can actually build it. You can do that. Two people can do that and not even be married anyway, even now. Any two people can go and say they buy a house or whatever, and they can both put their names on that house and build on that house. Their name is on there, it's in their name. And they can put a contract in place that protects them from from screwing each other. Say if I can't sell the house out from under my partners, because then she could actually take me to court and sue me for the proceeds. She could sue me for whatever it is I did wrong, based on that contract that she and I put in place before we did this. So contract is what we need to start exercising, and we can do contracts with each other, private contracts, and you get those contracts notarized before a notary, get a couple of witnesses, and you both have copies of it, and you can hold each other accountable. That thing will stand in a court of law, because you both agree to that. And when two or more people agree on a contract and they all sign it before a witness, and an unbiased witness, a neutral party, i.e. a notary, you want to get somebody that it's a notary or whatever, or you can do it a judge, however you want to do it. But the easiest way is a notary. And you could create a contract, create that contract, and you both move forward like that. You can start a business with both of y'all's name on it. You know, there's different ways a man and a woman can build together without getting the state involved in your business, and y'all can live happily ever after. You can get in when you got insurance. You can add somebody to your insurance. You know, add them to your insurance. You'll make your spouse a beneficiary if something happens to you. You know, there's ways you can do these things without the state being involved in your business. And they're only going to rule on what you two agreed on. If that contract is presented before a court, if one of you choose to breach that contract can be brought before a judge, and that judge is not going to be able to rule on anything except what y'all agreed to. Especially if y'all get nobody's pressure, bullied into signing the contract. You got to make sure it's done under, nobody's pressured to write it. Nobody's pressured to sign it. You're in your right state of mind. Nobody put a gun to your head and sign it or whatever. That thing will stand up. You can build like that. You can build like that. Man and woman can come together and build like that without the state being involved. And you can get rings and every damn thing. Have a ceremony and everything. Have an actual wedding if you want to. But it's set up to where it protects the man. It protects both parties, so nobody gets screwed at the end. That's all I'm talking about. That's what I'm open to doing. When I had this discussion, this woman didn't want to hear that. She was so caught up on the traditional way of doing things that she didn't, she was too busy trying to convince me that, how she's the exception to the rule about what happens in court, because she's not like that. Every woman's going to tell me that. Every woman's always told me, how they're different. But then I look at their past and see what took place with their previous kids' fathers. In most cases, they were, well, only reason I did that because he this, because he that. It's always an excuse. But I'm not going to take a woman's word about how she says, what she says about herself. I'm not going to do that. It's always good to protect yourself, because anytime someone gets in their emotional state, you don't know what they may do. And it's just smarter for a man to just protect himself. It's not really nothing wrong with that. But I'm totally still open to settling down with a woman. But if she don't want to settle down, she don't want to do the contract the way what I just presented, then we won't be getting married, because I'm not finna get the state involved in my business. I have a son now, one and only one child that I helped create, that the state don't help me do nothing about. Give my son back. Why, meanwhile, he's 5 years old. He'll be 6 this year. And I've tried everything I could, then suffered all types of ways dealing with this situation, and still haven't seen my son yet. And there's an order put in place, orders put in place is a visitation order. Still haven't even got a chance to see my son. And I've gotten with the judge trying to get him to move on it. Nothing, But if there's the other way around, I would be punished for not following the order. It's like so many different things they do to show favoritism toward the woman. So I advise any man to just protect yourself. Don't get involved in the state issued license, because you give them authority. You give them leverage against you. I was able to beat the child support case. However, to get my son back is a whole different damn monster, But hopefully that'll pan out in some kind of way. But right now I have to move on with my life. But that was just pretty much. This is not about my personal life. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm really just talking about my opinion about when it comes to marriage. The state issued license. If you get a state issued license, you get the state involved in your business. And then you can't complain when they fuck the shit out of you with no Vaseline if things don't work out, because that's exactly what they just may do. Now, not saying it's gonna always happen. There's exceptions to the rule, but there's always somebody that wins the lotto. It don't mean you're gonna win it because you bought a ticket. What are the chances of you winning if you buy one? That's all I'm saying. So but do what you do. I just thought I'd make this video because to me I think it's something to kind of look at. We spend so much time trying to, talk about the divorce rate and the married widow, but we never talk about the public officials. We never talk about why, the biasness that they show in these courts. We never hold them accountable to that. We don't make them hold up their oath. We don't make them stand on their oath. That's what we need to start doing. Start raising up against these damn officials who just do what the fuck they want to damn do, showing all types of to me they lead to a lot of destruction. The destruction in these families. Because if we can get the public officials in line, I think that people will be more prone to doing what they're supposed to do in a marriage. It won't be so much ego in the marriages because they realize that the course would be fair, straight down the middle. Of course, where there's a love of money right there, because if they can divide and conquer, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They making money for the state because two people can't handle they can't make the mature decisions on their own. So they're gonna victimize one. They're gonna victimize and monetize the situation by victimizing one person. One of the parties, whichever one they can benefit the best from. That's what they're gonna do, and the children suffer at the same time. So, but anyway, I can go on forever for this here with that part. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. The video getting long enough, and I'm almost at my destination. All right, don't forget to like and share, and so make sure you subscribe. Okay, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Emrose signing out.